out here to be visual and put on your camera on and also your visual. And we would like to formally start the session. And I would like to request the guest out here, Madam Sangeeta Jauhari, who's going to share her views and going to throw some lights on how to pursue a PhD. And accordingly, would like to welcome one of our scholars who have recently passed, or we can say, who has recently cleared his journey, research journey, and have become a PhD research degree holder. From a Mr., he has become a doctor. Congratulations, Anojji, for completing your research in time. And behind the whole research, whole journey, we would like to give the entire credit to the Rabindranath Tagore University, and especially to the ma'am present here, Sangeeta Jauhari madam. She has been the mentor throughout the journey. Thank you very much, ma'am. Through your good offices and your effort, the initiative that you have taken, we have been able to assist. We have been able to assist Anojji in the journey of transformation, transforming him from a Mr. to a doctor. Once again, congratulations, and would like to invite everybody, and would like to also request the participant to put on your visuals so that we'll be able to interact, and interaction is going to be more lively. And I guess quite a few number of participants are there. Before starting the session, I would like to talk a little bit about the whole program. This program is going to be of 60 minutes, where we would like to do the motivation part, to have the very lively panel discussion. And obviously, Madam is there. She's going to answer most of the questions regarding the PhD journey as a mentor. And we have a scholar who have a fellow who have recently passed from the university, and he's going to talk about the journey. And we like to, before entering into that, I would like to throw some lights on the ICA education. ICA education has been there for quite some time, and we have been helping Nepalese scholars to fulfill their education need, or their research need. And during the time that we have been existed, we have been able to facilitate many scholars. Many of them are from the academia, and a few of them are from the the professional background, corporate executives, and a few of them are from Nepalese government ministries, the bureaucrats. So we have a bunch of people with us from the very beginning, who were pursuing different degrees with us, and many of them did master's degree and also a PhD degree with us. And today we are assisting India's one of the prominent private universities. You can check in the internet also ranking of the university. It is Rabindranath Tagore University, which happens to be one of the prominent universities in providing education to Indian and globally various nationals. And a large number of Nepalese students are also enrolled there every year. And me and my friend, Vishwajit Mukherjee, who is present out here today, we have visited university 3 years back. And after that, we developed a relationship with the university, and we were able to admit quite a number of students in PhD program, and out of which you can see the outcome. One of the graduates is here, and in order to boost the morale of the other individuals who have been consistently inquiring us about the program, about the journey, and that brings us to the today's panel discussion. Now, I would like to request ma'am to throw some lights regarding the progress the university has made recently, and also would like to request you to motivate the students out here regarding the journey of doing a PhD, because ma'am has been there as a mentor, as a scholar in the past, And if you check Madam's track record, that is wonderful, more than wonderful. And she has achieved so many merits. So finally, over to you, ma'am, please.
Thank you, Robin sir, for the kind words, and thank you everyone for inviting me on this platform. Thank you, Biswajit sir. And before I say anything, I would like to congratulate the team of ICA Education, because the way they are coordinating with us, sitting so far, and even during COVID also, I would like to mention, is really remarkable. We can give a sign of applaud on the screen, because we all are online associated with each other, so we can give a sign of applaud. I can see the director, assistant director, admission sales, a pretty face. So good afternoon, madam, and good afternoon to your entire team, and also the students, the potential candidates who have joined us here on this platform. As sir has request, I also request, because the number is not huge, so if you can turn on your video, it would be great, because even it is an interaction of 15-20 minutes, it should be effective, and eye-to-eye contact is always important, because I don't know whether you are listening to me or you are doing something else. So that's important for me to see your faces, because see, as an academician, we have plenty of things to share, but I have to be crispy, precise, and have to answer your queries as well. So it is better if you can turn on your video. Eventually, suddenly if I say you turn on, it's sometimes pretty difficult in online medium. I can understand that, but please turn it on, because so that we can understand, we can see each other's face. So thank you, sir, for inviting us, and thank you to be in association with our university so long. I think it's a long journey. 2 times we have revised our MOU. We have entered the division in our collaboration. So thank you all, and thank you, sir, for inviting me. Now, to begin with, let me tell you some briefing about the institution and the philosophy of the institution, philosophy of the ICA University, now which is known as Rabindranath Tagore University. I can tell this very proudly that I am the founder member of this campus. I joined this university in the year 2011. I'm a hardcore academician. I'm into the academics since 20 years. I started my academic journey in the year 1998, and since then, no look back, because teaching is my passion, and I always feel very happy to be surrounded by the scholars and by the students, because I think they give you a lot of energy, and they actually give you a lot of learnings as well. So yesterday night also around 8 o'clock, I took my Ph.D. class. And since 10 years, 11 years, I'm taking online class. I think Anoj sir will tell, because he was there in the classes always. Other faculties are also there. Maybe sometimes because of the COVID, and because of sometimes, कुछ के तो मुझे faces भी याद नहीं है, but I know them and they know me, sitting so far. So overall, the journey, if you say my journey as an academician with the institution, because the university philosophy is actually the philosophy to have more creativity, to have innovation, okay, to look forward. The first thing is to look forward. So if you see the university growth since 2010-11, I joined here 2011, and it started in the year 2010. Since inception till date, I can proudly say no look back, and we are in line with all the goals which the government is actually looking for. Like for an example, the recent goal is the government is looking for the new education policy implementation, and we are the first in Madhya Pradesh as in private university to implement that new education policy. Since being a pro-vice chancellor, I'm into the committee, and I'm doing all those efforts with my team to implement the NEP effectively, and we are working hard on it. So whatever is the goals, whatever is the reforms which is coming in the education sector, we are abide by that. Sorry. Again, to share with you all, we are the only one university in Madhya Pradesh in central region who is actually having the top 200 position in NIRF. Everybody is aware about NIRF, National Institution Ranking Framework, and we are the only private university in central region who is having this score within 200, like top 150, top 200. You must be knowing about that. So we are into that. Again, the credit goes to the scholars, the credit goes to the teachers, faculty members, because NIRF is mainly focusing on the research learnings, research outcomes. So we do have 70 plus patents, we do have 130 plus collaborations of national and international repute. Our teachers have good H index. Now, why am I highlighting these points on this forum? Because all these things are actually related directly or indirectly to the research scholars and the research people, those who wants to do research. Because H index, if you talk about, this is talking about the citation and the score of the teacher in terms of the publication. So we do have a very good score, and eventually it is increasing day by day. So all these things actually giving us the strength, giving us the energy to go for such kind of accreditations and assessments and ranking frameworks. Because if you see the other institutions, they are not even going. In Madhya Pradesh, I'll tell you the statistics. Out of the 47 universities, only in Madhya Pradesh region, I'm seeing private universities, only 2 universities are there in NEC so far. And NEC, again, everybody knows that is a national accreditation framework, which is again talking about the quality measures and quality enhancement. And when we are going for such forums, and we are ready, and we are making ourselves ready for such forums, it itself indicates that how much we are quality conscious and how much we are student conscious. Because if we are doing all these activities, we have data to fill it, we have, you can say, strength to go for it. So definitely, this is the reflection which gives you an idea that how the university is growing in terms of the research and innovation, and also the entrepreneurial ecosystem. So here I would like to mention one thing, that again we are the first university in Central Region who have taken the funding from Niti Aayog, and that is in Delhi, the central office, and we have the Atal Incubation Center, which is the first ever incubation center in Central Region, supported by Niti Aayog in university and again in private university. So, and that culture is developed. We have more than 70 startups into our incubation center, and day by day the number is increasing. And long back, AICT has launched one session, sir, which was actually focusing on the startup to PhD. Okay, so there the potential research scholars are sitting, so I have to tell that as well, and I have to correlate that as well. So startup to PhD means, or let's suppose PhD to startup, vice versa. So if I say PhD to startup means, if I'm doing some research and as an outcome, I will start something of my own as a venture. Okay, so that is actually the outcome of research. So if you see the present scenario, the research is not is mainly for the academic purpose. And let me tell you one thing, that in Madhya Pradesh, that sensitization has begun up, because recently, past 2 years, we are collaborating with the Niti Aayog of Madhya Pradesh, that is the Atal Bihari Good Governance Institute, wherein they are actually asking the researchers to come forward and present their research proposal, and also give some insights that how this research will help in policy framing or in policy revamping. So the dimensions of research has been changed now. So you have to see, those who are listening me, you have to actually understand that why you want to go for research. Just before this seminar, one query came to me, one person came to me, and she asked me that I want to pursue research. She said that I want to go for PhD. And my first question I asked her that, why you want to go for it? So definitely the academic upgradation is the first answer, Robin sir. I hope you agree with me. Because I want to academically upgrade myself. That's okay. That's okay. But other thing than the academic upgradation is, what else? You want to contribute something to the society. You want to give something back to the society. You want to give some add-on to the society. You want to highlight some problem and want to be the probable solution of that. So that thing should be there in the budding researcher's mind. And if you are having that thing in your mind, yes, we are there for you to support you, and we are giving that autonomy and flexibility to the research scholar. Now, I'll tell you the paradox and the some kind of this research environment, what you say is disadvantages. that sometimes you as a researcher wants to do wonders in your research. Okay. And right now as a budding researcher, I don't know who all are there as a budding researcher, but if some are there, then they can correlate this, that as a researcher, I want to explore something new. I want to get into some new subjects, and the environment is not there. The guide restriction is there, the policy restriction is there, the university allow you to go forward with that topic or with the area. They're not giving you that support to move for that area. So ultimately, that your research instinct kills off, and you think, okay, leave it, I'll do the conventional. So this is also nowadays to be discussed on various forums, that what is the role of guide in PhD. Okay, the fundamental role of guide in PhD is to support the research scholar, is to give the flexibility and space to the research scholar to work in the area they want to, and also to guide them that how this work will be helpful to the coming generation, or to society, or to the maybe any other related problem. And I'm very happy to share this on this platform, Rabin sir, that recently, if you say about my own research work, one of my scholars has worked on financial literacy, and he has already drafted one book on financial literacy as per the UGC syllabi. So that's the first outcome of PhD, if you are coming up with one book, because writing reach to the masses, and if you are publishing one book and it is going to the people, then definitely people may be able to understand your outcome and may be able to gain some knowledge out of it. Okay. And another outcome, that since he has done this much things, he is now eligible to be a research associate in some good research consulting firms and some government agencies as well. So he's applying for that. Okay. Recently, one of our postgraduate students have joined one very good research institute in Bhopal, that is CARD. Okay. So what I'm trying to say out of all these examples is that if you have an autonomy to work, if you have an open platform and flexible approach, which is actually the Tagore approach, and they're following that approach in our campus, so you may create a lot of wonders. You may give a lot of input to the government, and to recommend something in the policy. And that is what is actually looking for these days. And that is why we are at various platforms criticizing our own research work, our own research PhD work, because we are saying that it is just an academic, what you say is the gathering of academic ideas, which we are putting in one library, and it's of no use. So my first humble submission to all the aspirants, that please understand this, that why you want to go for it. Do you have any, okay, sometimes the research scholar comes in a very raw form that they may not have that idea. So in our campus, we do mentor them 6 months. We give them that idea. We give them that, you can say pathway, by giving a lot of workshops, by giving them platforms to attend various seminars, conferences, to have some panel discussions like we are having right now, so that they can open up their mind. Okay, so it is not always there that I'm ready with all the energies and I'll go and I'll start. Sometimes you need guidance and mentoring before PhD, and this 6 months coursework, which even UGC have coined, is for that only. That maybe you may have left your subject long back, and now suddenly you want to get into it, and you want to work for it. You want to get into that area, but still you are missing that aura or that knowledge. So now that 6 months coursework and the interaction with the experts of the government institutions like BARC, I can say, like ICA, I can say, to say, like IIT people are say, like IIMS people are say. So all these people are coming to our campus, offline, online medium, to give that insights of research to our research scholars. And that is how we built up that ecosystem of research. So the first strength of my university, because here I am representing my campus, is that we give that autonomy and flexibility. We give you the space to do research. Rest all has been looking after. The another thing which is very important aspect of our campus and our university and the research is the proper connect. So if you see the other institute, I'm not commenting on any institution here on this platform, but I'm saying the strength of my campus, that on one go, or maybe on one message, on one mail, we try to solve the queries of our scholars, because we believe that they are indulged in their research work, so we should support them. So that support mechanism is again a very good strength of our campus. And we try to have a lot of tie-ups with our various, you can say, national, international institutions to support your research. So I would like to highlight here the work being done by the one of my scholar with DRDO, and she's being felicitated by DRDO with the one guide, and that is in the material science. Again, I would like to highlight one more work, research work, which we have done, which one of our scholar has done, I think just last week. That scholar submitted his final thesis and has been awarded PhD in civil engineering, sir, and he has created some new index for the water purification, and now that recommendation is being submitted. It will be submitted to the government of India for the application purpose. So this is the power. Solar energy, we have done a lot of research work in the area of solar energy. If you talk about social sciences and tribal, Madhya Pradesh tribes and other tribes, and recently one proposal came before me. I'm the witness of that. So the person is working on the Odisha tribes, the tribes at that Odisha region, and that the title is the development and discontent. A very interesting title I have seen, that how the tribes are actually getting discontent by this developmental process, and how they are actually getting disturbed. And this is a very tough work. And when I asked a scholar, he's living in Bhopal. So I asked scholar that how will you collect the data? So he said, madam, I will go to Odisha, I will live there, I will collect the data, and I will do the real-time study. So this is the power of the research. This is the power of the research. When I go the field in actual ways, when I do the research and I come up with some recommendations, or maybe not recommendations, I always say there's a fine line between suggestion and recommendation. A scholar can never recommend, actually, a scholar can suggest. Okay, but your suggestions can be taken into recommendation if it is worth enough to take that. So I can say this proudly, that variety of our research work is actually of those forums now wherein they can be incorporated as a policy recommendation at various platforms. So this is actually, I want to share with all of you about the research. And I always say on various platforms, sir, when I give the lecture, that for the sake of doing research, please don't do it. Why am I saying as an academician? Because we build this society. I'm the custodian of my society. I'm the custodian of my country. And if somebody is saying that Indians are lagging behind in terms of research, I personally don't feel happy on it, because we are the academicians, okay? And we are going to nurture the next generation. So if I'm not clear about my own work, if I'm not clear, for an example, if, okay, every time you cannot innovate, agreed. Every time you cannot do something new, but at least you do this much of quality work, which can be presentable at various forums. For an example, I always give this example to my research scholars, that at least after the span of 3 years, if you are capable enough to write 1 or 2 books on your topic, then the PhD is good. Okay, so as I gave the example as well, that one of my scholar, he wrote 1 book on financial literacy. And he wrote one research paper on Islamic financial literacy. So now the financial literacy is on his head. And now he can eventually get into this. He can teach this subject. He can bring reforms into this subject. He can multiply these subjects with many students. So the basics should be clear. At least if that is clear with the research scholar, it's more than enough to be awarded as PhD. So our senior used to say that PhD is the beginning of the research. Okay, so during the tenure of PhD, we learn the research, and by the time we submit our thesis, we think that right now we are starting the research, because uske baad we realize that okay, we missed it. Okay, I could have incorporated this. So I do have good scholars with me, wherein I have to tell the scholars, okay, stop it now, done. It is done for research. It is done for PhD. Abhi ke liye itna band karo, rest we will see afterwards. So this kind of scholars now coming into the campus. That the 10 years trend, I will just like to inform you all that this span of 10 years, the researchers' quality is actually improved in our campus. And this is being witnessed by the people, those who are actually submitting their research work in the span of 3 years. As per the UGC guidelines, we have 3 years, minimum 3 years to submit our research work to confer the degree, and maximum 6 years. The latest norm is also saying the same. And this 3 years is including coursework, which you are doing online mechanism. We are offering coursework online. And I'm very again happy to say that already we are doing it, but now UGC is saying it to do online. Already we were doing it because hybrid mode is in now. After COVID, we all are saying hybrid. Hybrid means what? Mix of offline, online. Okay, so we say, okay, you have classes online, then we will invite you for the conference, for the workshop. That's offline. So this is how we are managing the coursework norms, and those people who are living far away from this, they can justify this as in say that, okay, we are doing coursework online, because I'm telling you the coursework is a very integral part of PhD. Wherever you will apply for your job, wherever you will go for your further upgradation in your job, the first thing they will ask you, okay, you have done PhD, have you done coursework? You will answer yes. Okay, then they will say, okay, how many classes, or maybe attendance verification. Sometimes we as a research section, we have to give the attendance verification to the scholars. So that verification is being asked. Then we have all the steps, further steps to be followed. So you have coursework exam, then you have to present your proposal before the panel, and before that also a lot of guidance is being given by our guide. We are blessed to have very good guides in our campus of all the subjects, of all the discipline, and it is a mandate which is being given to all the guides from the university, that you have to support your research scholars by all the means, by all the ways. But no malpractices is being entertained in our campus. Let me tell you very clearly on this platform, we are the true researchers. We want to have true research spirit. So no any kind of unethical practices are being entertained in our campus. So that's the important thing which I want to highlight on this platform related to the PhD process, and also the importance of this PhD and research. So you have a lot of platforms. You can submit various good projects into your area. Okay, that's another outcome of research. For an example, you want to work, like I give you an example of Odisha people. So, Odisha person, the person who is working on the Odisha tribes. I told him that why don't you submit this project to ICSSR, Indian Council of Scientific Science, Social Science Research. That's a very good body in India, which is actually giving funding to the scholars for doing such kind of projects. So there are the keywords are tribes, or maybe the underdeveloped sections, or the self-help groups, or a woman. So these are the keywords. If you are submitting projects related to this, they definitely fund you if your project is worth enough to be funded. So all such kind of things are the outcomes of the PhD. In nutshell, the first outcome of PhD, you can be author of a book parallel to your PhD, because nobody will read your thesis, but they can read your book. Okay, it can be reached to the masses. As I always say, that writing reach to the masses. Right now, speaking here, and just 17, excluding me, 17 people are listening. Okay, but if I write something, I don't know how many number of people will read me. And as a beginner, I actually authored one book with Dr. Kavita, that is the Research Methodology, a Beginner's Guide. So I have started writing books now. My another book on financial literacy is on the way. Another book of managerial economics is on the way. And one more book we are thinking on the entrepreneurship. So as a researcher, sky is the limit for you. You keep on learning, you keep on exploring. I'm telling you, you'll fall in love with research. Nobody else you will actually look for. If you actually thinking on this ground that I want to start, I want to give something new to the society. And the way you think, the day you start thinking like this, definitely you will give something back to the society from where you have taken enough of it. So I would like to conclude my speech over here, sir and Vishwajit sir, by saying this, that if you give this opportunity to the Rabindranath Tagore University to serve you, definitely I can now surely say after 10, 11 years, and I'm really enjoying this journey to be with the research community. So still being a pro-vice chancellor, I always love to take classes and sessions of the students, because we learn from them. We learn from them, and we try to give our experiences to them, so that they can find it that research is actually tough, but research is not that much tough if you get into it. Okay, so I don't say that research is easy. Yes, it's tough because it takes your time. Okay, it takes your also energy, family time, energy, You have seen people, those who are getting into a lot of research, some kind of, you can say, they're in their own world. Okay, if somebody comes to you, sometimes I'm doing my job and suddenly my daughter comes up and I say, okay, right, don't come right now. I won't be able to give you focus because I'm thinking something else. So if my mind is on my research work, all the time it keeps on going in your mind. And the young minds, the young people who are sitting with me, and everybody is young, including me and Robin sir as well. So the young minds never stops thinking, the young mind never stops giving. And if we give something good to the nation is always ready to take that from you. And I'm telling you, the research agencies, the governance, the Niti Aayog people, they're actually open now. They're actually open now. And recently, one fellowship is there. I'll tell you the name. Those who are a good writer, those who want to write, the one fellowship is there, FAST, FAST. They have actually invited right now the fellowship from the students, those who wants to write on science, fiction and non-fiction. So with this example, what I want to say is that world is open, funding is there, everything is there. The only thing, you have to move forward and grab the opportunity and be a wonderful researcher and give back something to the society. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me this platform to share. I'm open for the questions and any other remarks if you would like to say. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, madam. Thank you very much for throwing so much of lights, regarding the PhD and also talking about, while concluding, you mentioned about the time management skill, which is desperately required out here for all scholars. And I also, when I started my journey, I also was a full-timer then. I was academic. I was a educational leader of an institution where, as you know, when you become this academic leader, you run out of your time and you cannot have a schedule. Every time when you have a scholar waiting outside and you go on, resolving their difficulties. So this is, I can, feel that, I can empathize, on what you have said. So time management skill is one, which all of us need to practice. And the other part you mentioned, you can come up with a publication, which is wonderful. And many of us, many of our fellow scholars have done in the past. And I hope Anoj also is trying to do something on that part. And it is when you do write something, that is you're increasing your intellectual assets. And when we take a real departure also, people will have something to remember us. That will be there for us to be remembered. And when I was going through the one survey, it talks about what are the reasons for being PhD, and it talks from different perspectives. Different questions were there, and we found somewhere one of the questions was about lifelong learning, and many of the responded critique on it, and 60% above said the very reason for doing PhD becoming a lifelong learner. That's why we want to raise this topic as the lifelong learner. The other reasons were also mentioned there. That was passion to research, becoming an expert in my field, and to continue my studies, learn and engage with the young learner, and boost my career. And one more thing that which strike here, which was a bit high also, networking opportunity within the that area, that fraternity, professional or professional network extending in the fraternity was rated high. So we happen to take it, and you may the scholars out here who are in the webinar today. You can find a lot of lectures and a lot of lectures being recorded by the university, done by the madam, is widely there in the YouTube, which you can see how methodically madam takes sessions, and I have also many of them recorded, downloaded in my PC and at times, and I also go through it where I am taking research methodology classes. These are wonderful pieces of work done by the madam, And once again, would like to congratulate Madam. And thank you for taking so much of initiative and covering so many things. Madam is a powerhouse in terms of knowledge. Having said that, now I would like to go to Anoj. So whatever the time, you were very high and very low, I can recall my days, at times, you do not feel like continuing. Then again, you find something to continue. Then again, that frustration line comes, and again, you find different causes and different helps, the mentors, suggestions, and good mentors, advices takes you to another level. Now, I would like to put forward the question to Anoj to throw on lights on your, this journey, this research journey. How did you, transform yourself from a caterpillar to a butterfly?
Okay. Namaskar and good afternoon once again. Thanks a lot for inviting me. First of all, allow me to take this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude to respected Pro Vice Chancellor of Rabindranath Tagore University, Dr. Sangeeta Jauhari ma'am, my supervisor, respected Professor Dr. Brajesh Kumar Sharma, respected Biswajit sir, and respected Rabin sir, for your support and guidance. Because of you, I am in this position now. You have provided lots of guidance and support, encouragement, motivation, all these things during my PhD journey. So for that, thanks a lot. At the same time, so for the first year period, at the initial stage of this period, I learned a lot from respected Sangeeta Jauhari ma'am. Because of her research work, she has uploaded many of her work in YouTube. We can learn from. That is called you can search by typing "learn with harmony." Lots of things are there. Research related lessons we can learn from that session. As a result of that. I have downloaded and I studied that. Because of that, I passed coursework examination. So for the coursework examinations, that is basically related to research work, and one topic related to my education of my thesis. I have completed my thesis in education sector, especially the technical education training system of Nepal. So for that, her work, her guidance, her support, I did, as a result of that, I passed coursework. After completing coursework, and then I started my research study. And then during that period, when guide was assigned to me, so fortunately I got one very good, very helpful guide who enlightened me actually. So my respected Professor Dr. Brajesh Kumar Sharma, I should be thankful to him. Because of him, I'm here now. So I have completed my thesis. Whenever so most of the communications are done in WhatsApp, because we are not in same location. So I received guidance from WhatsApp, and then with the help of that, so I learned, and then he gave me lots of feedback and he encouraged me. So throughout the time, he supported me to do a seminar work paper presentation. So we have Shikhar in Rabindranath Tagore University. So Shikhar, and so for that, from that, I presented a paper. So after completing all this presentation seminar work, and then so we need to have 2 research studies, 2 research paper, but I with the support of my respected supervisor, I completed 5 research paper. I just published this 5 research paper with the support of him. So that way I completed on time. So the one more important point is the plagiarism. So fortunately, when Sangeeta Jauhari ma'am tested my thesis paper, she found 1% plagiarism only. So I checked that, because plagiarism, for example, if I say technical education and vocational training, it contains 4 words. So that is also cast by the plagiarism. That's why 1%. Otherwise, it was clear, and I did it in a quantitative method. I utilized quantitative paradigm, and then so I learned a lot from this this study. Because of this, it will help to enhance my career, enhance my future. Now I'm trying to write one book related to the employability skills of Tibet graduates of Nepal. Basically, that was the topic of my thesis, a study of employability skills of technical and vocational education and training graduates of Nepal and employers' perspective. I looked the employers' perspective. How do they think about our graduates? So that way I learned. So now I'm working on that, and I'm trying to publish a book. So I'm started writing a book now, and I'm also writing some research paper also related to workplace-based learning. So because workplace-based learning always enhances the employability skills of our graduates. When people are associated with the actual workplace, they learn what the employers need, what the organization needs from them. So that way, I completed the thesis, and I'm very much grateful to the Rabindranath Tagore University. Because of that university, I'm here now, and I completed thesis, and of course ICA also. So because of their support, their encouragement, I completed all these things. So thanks once again to the entire Rabindranath Tagore University family and entire ICA family. Thank you very much. So that way I completed, sir.
Thank you, Anojji, for throwing lights on your becoming a butterfly from this is one the metaphor I would like to take here today. And this right sort of a thing, this keeps us, alive every time. Keeps us alive every time, and this is a platform where we can be very positively expressive. And when we really complete our, this journey of research, over a period of time, we become mature. The level of maturity grows up, and we try to see things in a natural manner. The things becomes flat to us, and we can write so many things out of our reflection. And when we put on that to the piece of paper and that is being circulated, many people will be benefited out of it, because people out here, are confused in terms of, different things. And when somebody comes with a mature mind and the backup of the research, that becomes a very valid knowledge to adapt and to, do the further research. So, thank you very much, Anojji, for, congratulations.
I just want to say, I just want to add one thing,
yes,
sir, here, that he congratulated university and all the officials. I must congratulate to Anojji to be regular. Now, again, I would like to highlight here one point is that without the scholar constant, you can say, intervention is not the right word, but without the constant touch and connect with the guide, and also taking into consideration all the gaps which the guide is highlighting. Okay, it is really not possible for us even. We are also blessed to have such a wonderful scholar actually learn which is being given by the university and by the guides as well. So it is actually, Rabin sir, a two-way process. Thank you ICA for this, for providing wonderful scholars who were wants to learn. It's not like in PhD. What is happening these days is that, see, we as an academician is supporting sometimes some practices which actually we should not. And in that way, your team is very good and your scholars are very good, because I used to interact one more scholar was there in English. I'm having his name right now. He's also very good scholar in English discipline, because Dr. is guiding her. Some Tappa or S se kuch naam tha, I'm missing it. So there are some good scholars who are actually in touch with our guides. And they are also appreciating that, Madam, Nepal students are doing very well, and they are also following her guidelines and in the publications as well. So, Anojji, bahut dhanyawad aapka. And also, I would like to see your book, and if you can write your guide in that book. It would be great for us. Because see, this is all the intellectual properties, sir, which a university will have at the end of the day. Okay, the financial part is one aspect. The real intellectual scholars are ready to contribute, as I said, and you're doing great job. You are motivated to write a good person. Good one book. One thing. When we complete our PhD or research journey, not PhD, I call research journey. When I complete or when as a scholar complete your research journey with a good comfort, not any kind of hassles and other kind of things which you might have heard from other people, then it motivates you to give more automatically. So sometimes what happens that during PhD you get so exhausted with your research work that finally at the end of the day you think, no, I don't want to do research. It's enough now. So if university gives you that that ease or that relaxation while you are doing your research, give support, then automatically, sir, it cultivates culture of support, and also it gives the mind and such kind of things to the scholar that yes, I want to give more. Mujhe aur research papers likhne hai. And sir can be a wonderful guide now, and he can guide many more scholars, Anuj sir, and he can create this culture. So this is what is actually our responsibility as an academic institution, to nurture the culture of good research. Thank you, sir. I just intervened because mujhe bhi thank you bolna. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am, for timely, rightly intervening. Now the thing is, which we would like to share it here also. Anuj is a very passionate learner, and
Yes.
we are trying to collaborate, and we already asked him while he was doing his, research. We said, once you complete your journey, we would like to take you on board, and we would like the, upcoming researcher to, get your guidance, because you
Yes.
have recently completed, but he did, he's, I feel quite a time back, and he is into more in training and development, and with his rich experience, there would be a lot of benefit for the upcoming researcher. And he has
like Anuj, you can be a co-guide
like
with
to
us.
congratulate him to be on board.
Yeah. So I'm saying that sir can be a co-guide with us, because we are also doing the same, because we are
Yes.
taking our own
Yes.
scholars as an
Yes.
alma mater, as a co-guide. So right now I would like to share this again on this platform, that right now I'll tell you more than 15 scholars are actually the co-guide in our campus. So they are now ready to learn, teach our other researchers. And now what is happening, sir, they are reviving their own journey. That okay, we did this now, we got this now, we got this support, now we will replicate the same. So they are supporting. So that's what I'm saying, sir. The culture building is a long process. Okay, as we say in economics, development is a long process. So building up culture is a long process. It takes around about 10, 15, 20 years to build up a culture. So now the culture is there, that if Anuj sir has done PhD with Rajesh sir in a simple harmony and with proper guidance, definitely he will give the same guidance to the next person. And this is how the culture builds. So Anuj sir can apply, and we can take him as a co-guide. Maybe someone from your side, if next time will come for PhD education, you can tell that he will be your co-guide and the main guide from the campus only. So this is how you can develop the culture.
Fortunately, we have a calendar this time. Fortunately,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This time. Monaji
So
is already
on
board.
Yeah.
So, Anuj is very much privileged, and with the cooperation of the university and your guidance, I get, things will roll very soon. Very soon. That would be a wonderful thing to have, because somebody who has recently passed out and somebody who is doing, and when there is support from the university, they would be able to complete the upcoming research also in time. And by the way, Monaji is trying to do in the this DRM, disaster research management, awareness and the education, and is mainstreaming in the main education system. So it will be one more thing to the Ministry of Education, and Anuj happens to be one of the officials of the Ministry of Education. So that will be a good thing for the ministry as well as for him. And while making out from the conversation that we're having, I saw a lot of things, a lot of high level for the researcher in your this. I call this course as a boot camp for the researchers.
Yes,
It is
good
decent boot camp. I call it very decent boot camp. So, you have information to them, you see their informations and such widely explained, all the aspects are dealt with. And when you go to the videos and you sit in the session, you really feel motivated. Vishwaji and I, we were the ghost student at times, and we try to see what our learners are doing. And we found, they were doing very, very good, and all of them appreciated. A few of them, would like to continue in the future also. As you know, in last time there were a few dropouts also because of their professional engagement. They also have expressed the desire to come back, considering how nicely they were, taken care of by the university. And they talk about the university and the course and everything. But they have not been able to do their time. So I keep on telling them your time management skill has to be really improved if you want a session review. So it is basically the time management, plays a very, very significant role. Now, having said that, now should we open the questions, ma'am? What do you say?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
yes,
fine.
So
now the prospective students and the prospective scholars now have opened the forum. Now you can ask your questions and we'll like to to the best opportunity. Thank you. The panel is over. Discussion is over. You may pause your questions. Abhishek sir, would you mind checking the chat? Is there anything in the chat? Nothing much.
So they may have questions later on. Right now
they may have later on. And I recall one of those days, many years back.
Meanwhile, we can have some feedback kind of thing that what they learned from this discussion, like how they find it. At least they can write this much to mark their presence. Are they really there physically?
Yes.
Virtually, sorry. So how do they find this discussion or this journey, and what is their remark? At least they can write this much to acknowledge this, that they are there. Yeah, that much I think they can do. Or we can also have feedback from two of the beautiful ladies sitting out here, Dakshina. I can read it out, and another name I don't know. They can also tell us something like that.
Of course, it's a wonderful discussion session. Since this is the first time I'm meeting you, not in person, though virtually, but it's been I have heard a lot about you from Rabin sir and Vishwajit sir. So it's glad to meet you, man. And Anoj sir, so glad to meet you as well. So proud of you. So proud of what you have achieved so far. Later we'll get in touch, since some of our prospective scholars, they want to talk to you about how your journey was. So we'll share this video with them as well. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, and keep a track of the the questions, and we'll answer it over a period of time. And is there anything that we can discuss now?
Am I eligible to continue my research journey?
Close the session.
Sir,
Anything you like
there's
to
a question from Krishan Thapa.
Yes, there's a question.
Krishna. Yeah. So anyways, see, the gap is from your side. You are eligible to go for PhD because you have MA in sociology. So you are eligible for sociology PhD. Okay, but the only eligibility that you should have more than 55% or into your credit as per the UGC norms.
Yes.
But you are eligible, quite eligible. And may I ask you then, Krishna Thapa, what you are doing right now? Krishna Thapa, the name is. Presently, what you are doing, like what's your profile?
Krishna Thapa, what do you do?
Okay.
Looks like he
You're
has a
working in
problem.
an
Looks
That's
like he
great.
has a problem
That's
with his
great.
mic.
That's great. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, madam. It's okay. Actually,
Yeah,
that's great.
he's
One
writing in
thing,
chat.
this
Well put.
question, yeah, I can read it, sir. I can read it. One thing I would like to yeah. So see, I'll tell you that when you do research, when you go for research, actually now it's, as I said, it's a practical approach to your all academic journey. Okay, so you can very well take some of the good topics from your work profile as you're working with INGO. In India, we call it as NGO, non-governmental organization. So you must be related with some of the other social aspects, and you can take very well certain research questions from that to answer with. So your the profile, the profile you are having, any one of you, this is a common to all. You can please relate your research with your profile. If you can relate that, I'll tell you that time management would be very easy, as Rabin sir was highlighting, and you will be able to give something new to your existing work. So it is not that you are getting into the academic journey again. Please understand this, that when you're getting into research, you are getting into the applying part of it. You have already learned the theoretical aspect. If you are studying research methodology in 6 months, as sir is saying, boot camp, now you learn how to apply research. In my yesterday class, sir, I was teaching students how to apply mean on your data, how to interpret that. So they are not even understanding it sometimes, that how can I interpret anything from a mean value? It's a very simple value. Okay, if you are having some value, that I was teaching in my last evening class. So it is all about Krishna ji, the interpretation. It is all about that what kind of problems you are having in your present working system, and you want to explore it further, you want to research on it, and you want to come up with some probable solution. So that's why always we ask one problem statement when we ask about the research plan. So you can very well get into the journey of research, and you can correlate that with your present profile work, so that your time management will be easy. And the most important thing, getting data will be very easy, because again in research we struggle with data. Actual data we don't get. I think number of things, but if I'm not getting data on it, my research goes off. So that's true. Another question from Rajkumar. Some question.
Namaste, good afternoon.
Good
I'm
afternoon.
Namaste, sir. I'm really proud to join this platform. Actually, I didn't know. I don't know how I get, but I'm really motivated by this one, lifelong learning. Actually, I'm about to complete my PhD from Trivandrum University in management, right? So,
okay.
Still, yeah. But I want to be a part of this, this platform, because actually doing PhD or completing PhD is a part of, it's a kind of lifelong learning process. I'm wondering that how would I continue my learning, because there are so many, intricacies even after completing PhD, and I'm afraid that just doing PhD would be a burden, if I don't carry out any research work, or if I don't study anything, right? That just become a burden for a person. Right? There are many cases. There are many people who pursue PhD, and after completing that they do nothing, and that just become a burden. So I think it's my great opportunity to have you here, and like to join this platform. I don't know how I got this, suddenly I just got one email address and I just registered it. And I really thank you, Rabin sir, and other academicians like Sangeeta ma'am and Biswajit sir. And just having heard,
thank you. Now let me kill your curiosity, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Let me answer your question. It seems to be very, very interesting one, this is, because, I did my research back 2014. I guess madam also did, similar time. So
2015.
Now you can take us from our experience of, how do we keep ourselves intellectually alive? This is what your question is about,
Thank you so much.
From my experience, there are 2 or 3 things that we can, we can continue. One is, as ma'am beautifully said, you should write a book.
Yes.
Writing a book is a journey. You do not stop after writing one. See,
Yes.
this is
Yes.
one answer. The other
Yes.
other one is, as ma'am said, you can be, you can start from a co-guide to a guide, So this is one more journey. This is one
Yeah.
more route for you to keep yourself very much, engaged in your lifelong learning process.
Yes.
And number three would be connecting with the people who have already completed the research journey, or with the people who are doing research, and create a forum. We created a forum long time back. I guess 2015, we initiated, and we had 10-15 sessions. After that,
Yes.
we could not continue much, because then the earthquake erupted. We had the massive earthquake during that time, and after that the vibe was little low, and we could not do that. So there is a forum called Talk Research, and we are very much eager to revive it. And we in fact have a lot of discussion on reviving it, and having fortnightly panel discussion in terms of people who have recently completed research regarding their findings, their suggestions, the recommendations, and people who have done in the past, and people who are in the journey of doing a research, helping them out and talking of different things. And here out in Nepal, one thing we miss in our research is this historical research.
Yes.
Historical research we do not do much. And in terms of historical research, the people who have did the research journey can be the catalyst to dig out the things, because their learning becomes flat now, and they would be able to see what had happened in the past, and would be able to throw lights and write articles, on the what had happened in the past, taking out the facts and interpreting it through the perspective that they have developed, and re-verifying it, and reconnecting it with the book would be, I guess, right type of intervention that you can initiate. And other thing that you can do is also write blogs. And through blogs also you get connected with the right type of people. There is AI. God has made a very strong AI. Whatever positive think you are thinking, those things will connect to you. So that's why we keep on saying in our Sanatan, Hindu Dharma is always think good, and think good things will come to you.
Yes.
So
Yes,
so once you create the forum, you will have multiple people like you, coming to you, and getting connected, and that is how you become very much live, and getting becoming a real lifelong learner for real. I think I
Yes,
have partially answered the question.
Thank
If
you.
madam would like to throw some lights on
Thank
it,
you so much, sir.
would be really quenching the thirst of the the researcher.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So I think Robin sir has covered all the points, and it's really a lifelong learning. Anyways, the learning is a lifelong learning. And whatever sir has said, I do agree with sir. And you keep on learning. And I was just telling that the moment we will start postdoc, we will tell you, join us for the postdoc fellowship. So we are planning to go for it. And majority of the scholars are actually approaching us, sir, every year. That when you are starting DLIT, when you are starting postdocs, now it's more than 11 years, 10 years. So we will soon start that. Once we will start, we will let you know. And meanwhile, you keep on doing good work, Rajkumar.
Thank you so much. Thank you
keep
so
on
much.
doing great job. Yes.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. And we are eagerly waiting for the postdoc. Once you start it, there will be a lot of people, would like
I know, sir. Actually, sir,
it.
because of some statutory ordinances, I discussed Vijay sir a number of times that when we are going to start it. So he said, all the university and statutory and ordinances issues. And already we are in the process of opening the 6th university in scope again in Bhopal. They all are indulged in that. So a lot of obligations and permissions are required for that. Anyways, we are on to it and we are starting very soon. So probably in a week's time. Sorry, in a year's time. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes. 55% is there.
Good news.
Yeah. So Krishnaji, 55% is required as an entrant. If you have 55% in MA or in any PG discipline, you are eligible to go for PhD entrance. And PhD entrance till date we are offering online. Probably for the future also, entrance will be online. If there will be any change for your ICA, we will plan it accordingly. That already is the administrative thing. So 55% percentage is required. Any other questions, sir? Because I have another meeting to go. It's 3 o'clock.
We already crossed the time. Is there any question, Rano? Any question left?
Even
No,
I
sir.
think
The chat box
after
is
this
clear.
session.
Yeah, after
Sir, I always take one score.
Lot of questions will come. When it comes,
no, I just want to say one thing, sir. I always take one score because I'm a statistician also, the small one. So I always take one score. So if the attendees can give this panel discussion, not only to me or to Robin, but this panel discussion, if you want to give score out of 10, how much you will give? That's the feedback you should always take before winding up this session. That's very important. And I think you should come forward. Whatever score you think, because this will give us the input that whether such kind of sessions are really effective or they are required or whatever. So at least those who are listening us, this much they can do, that how much score they can give us out of 10. Again, I'm saying. That I always do in my class, sir. And because that motivates me. And so as a panel, I'm saying, if you can give that, if they can give that. So it is very important.
Thank you very much, madam. And once again, I would like to request all the people out here present, please mark us the range of 1 to 10 and also be specific in terms of giving us the feedback. Your feedback will improve upon the situation and all of us will be benefited. And all of us acknowledge, we accept and acknowledge that we are lifelong learners. Having said that, I would like to thank everybody present here, and at most the madam being very kind and accepting our invitation and coming here and throwing lights to the whole the process of PhD and motivating the prospective students. And having said that, thank you very much, madam. Have a good day. And with your permission, we would like to. With your permission, we would like to conclude. But having said that, we have made a small certificate of participation, which Ranu is going to share with you. Ranu, please.
Rabin, sir, could I ask if there is any question? Could I just email you or not, sir?
Oh yes. Please do email. Please do email to us, and we love to answer the email.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And one more thing that I would like to state here is we did not know who is going to participate before the who is going to participate. So once you are participate in the forum, please do write an email to us your correct spelling, and we will be sending you the certificates as well for the participation. Right. So you remember you were in a session, and that will motivate you to continue your journey.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, madam. One more time, and would be thank everybody present, including my profile guest party. All of you so did. And without you, we would not have you said in the meeting. And he is the catalyst behind the whole process. And he is the one. Who is the pioneer of bringing this, this blended learning and online education, university education to the country. And we have been operating in this area for 20+ years. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.